Welcome to another edition of Swim Easy Speed. Today we're going to look at an age group triathlete who came to me, and we've worked together a little bit, trying to help improve the efficiency of his stroke. So what we're going to do today is use this session to show, kind of give you a better understanding of why, an athlete will cross over midline at the top of their stroke on the hand entry. It's a fairly common occurrence with triathletes. I see it a lot. And we're just going to go through today kind of some of the reasons why it's happening, and then, why you want to address it kind of from a more of a multifaceted kind of way, because it's not just simply about making the movement. So here you can see, he's a little low in the water. We can see kind of that, the usual angle in the water, more like that. So all of this is drag. Some of this, again, is indicative of the endless pool. Some of the currents coming like that and pushing this back end down. Most of it's like this, kind of keeping us in place. But what that's showing is that there's probably a lack of strength right there in the core, which is what I see most often. And I see this a lot too, because triathletes tend to not kick much, is there's not a ton of neuromuscular connection from the kick back up to the core. And what we're looking to get to, where the efficiency is, where the speed is, where the power is when the core connects to the upper body, the core connects to the lower body, the core connects everything together. In one coordinated movement from top to bottom. That's where the efficiency in swimming comes from. It's not about just working one aspect and then, now you're going to have to work on one aspect at a time to improve your stroke, but ultimately it's a full body connected, coordinated movement. So you can see, he's having a little bit of tough time getting the legs and the upper body connected together. You can see there's a lot of movement kind of along that midsection. When we look here, head position looks pretty good, but you can see kind of this gap back here between the kind of top of the butt and the water line. That's all drag he's pulling against. And the legs just don't look terribly connected to the body. Okay, so here's what we're going to look at. So you can see right there, we've got that pretty typical kind of half moon shape right there. He's throwing a lot of momentum that way, which he's going to have to correct for at some point. And then again, on this left side right here, again, you'll be able to see kind of the feet come way apart on each time, and then just the overall general kind of back and forth nature of his body in the current. And what you want to remember is that, this current is designed to be incredibly smooth, incredibly as stable as you can get it. And so what's going on is the current is steady. Okay, it's pretty much unchanging, or as unchanging as water can be. Because remember, we're in this dynamic environment with the water. But if you're moving around this much in the current, it's you. And it's the athlete that has all of this instability and is adding in all this instability that's forcing the body and the brain to kind of adjust by going back and forth like that. So here you can see it's even more pronounced at the top of the stroke, that crossing over the midline. So if we just go back for official sake, so there we go. Midline is right about there. So you can see he's crossing over the midline, and then you've got to correct for that movement somewhere. And it typically comes at the cost of efficiency in the stroke, both in terms of where you can leverage the water and then in terms of how much drag you're creating. So we'll go on to the underwater, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of what kind of goes on. So here we've got one of the things that happens when you breathe, when you rotate your whole body to get the breath. You can see he goes basically onto his side. There's that foot coming way out. He's put midline effectively there. So you can't even see where the hand is down there, but that's how far away kind of the hand is from midline. all the pressure that you can get is going on the top of the shoulder. The lat is kind of taken out of the equation. Typically we only want to see about 30 to 40 degrees of rotation, particularly for distance swimmers. And same thing on that when we breathe onto the left. So, he's creating a lot of instability on top of instability. And that's where the inefficiency goes. Okay, so here we are with a kick with the brick and fins. So you can see he's struggling a little bit with that kick. He's struggling to kind of get everything up on the water. Again, we're looking at a core issue. Where we want to get more and more engagement from the core and more ability of the core to handle that pressure that's being generated back there and drive it straight forward. That's what we're looking to do. The core is going to provide the stability. It's going to provide the foundation to which it's going to allow us to really drive straight forward. So I've been trying to solve, this issue with crossing over. I do it in a combination now, typically with the brick and then that PVC pipe, so that position 11 drill. It's helping out a lot because we're driving that connection. And the more engaged the core is, the more precision and control you're going to have with where your hands enter the water. And you'll have a lot better feel for where your hands are in relation to everything else. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. And please like, share, comment, all of those great things. They help us out tremendously. And it allows us to keep on making videos for you on how to get better in your swim. So, again, thanks for tuning in and hope to see you at the pool soon.